Welcome back to another episode of Rollerset to Mindset. I'm Angela Fuller. I'm your go-to when you are at a crossroads and you're wondering what is next for me. In this episode, I've given it so much thought over the past few days. And I want to ask you something. When you look at your life right now, wherever you are, whether you are starting a business or been doing it for a while, uh, when you look at your vision, when you look at your next chapter, how far you've come, how far you feel you have to go. Do you focus? Do you focus on how far you still have to go, or do you focus on how far you have come? How far you have come, because so often we measure ourselves by how far we have to go, and we forget the growth. We forget about the growth, about the journey, about the learning curve that we've already gone through. And so today I want to shift that a little bit for you if I can. This episode, and it's so fitting for the month of November, this episode is about choosing gratitude, thankfulness, over pressure, over the pressure we sometimes put ourselves through when it's really not necessary, especially if we know that we are doing the work. And so in this episode, I want you to focus on how far you have come. So if you are a woman who is building her next chapter, and we all are building in some kind of way, whether it's a personal reinvention, a career, whether it's you're going through a transition in your relationship, or you're just looking for a bold new direction, I want you to hear this. You did not wake up here where you currently find yourself. There's so much that you need to recognize. You have lived, you have survived, we have healed. And sometimes we've done it over and over again. Sometimes we feel like we're on a treadmill, but the point I'm trying to make is you have done a lot of things. And in those things, you have grown. But so many times we don't give ourselves credit for the growth that we have developed. And because when I think about it, for me, and you can let me know if it's for you, there was a time when I didn't have clarity. And my question to you is, are you there? Are you at a place where you don't have clarity, or are you at a place where you have more clarity, more confidence, less self-doubt? And there was a time when I didn't believe. What about you? Was there a time that you didn't believe, but when you look at your life in this moment, is your belief stronger? Do you feel more capable? Do you feel less invisible? You know what I mean? Do you feel less invisible? Do you feel more certain? Or are you even afraid to imagine it feeling that way? Be honest with yourself. And so even if you find yourself thinking differently, if you find yourself thinking more intentionally, hey, listen, that's a win. That's a huge win. And so when you ask yourself what's next for me, that's truly a legit question, because that's a question I found myself asking myself about a year ago. And I'm on the journey of my next, and I feel more grounded in the choices that I have made. And so I want you to really think very deeply about that, because it deserves to be honored. You deserve to be honored for making that first choice, that first decision. So let's be honest about what we're doing, where we are, where we hope to go. There's nothing easy about reinvention. There's absolutely nothing easy, but then it's not designed to be easy. It becomes easier. Anytime you start out something new, something different, it becomes easier, but it cannot become easier until you get on that journey and experience all of what that journey comes with. And so I want you to not, I want you to take a minute, just look back. I don't want you to turn back, but you can look back, because if you look back, you will see that you've traveled a lot of road. And I want you to look at the moments when you chose courage over comfort. Look at the times you pushed through fear. Fear. And fear is, people sometimes say that danger is real, but fear is imagined. But fear is a real thing. And it's not always imagined. You know what I mean? It's not always imagined. So, but focus on the decisions you had to make to get yourself back into alignment. And I found that that is what it's all about. It's about getting back into alignment. And so sometimes you have to do different things, use different tactics to ensure that. For me, that looks like journaling. What does that look like for you? For me, it looked like, and it continues to look like, planting seeds that I know will grow. So my question to you is, what seeds are you planting? And those seeds that you plant, that's the harvest that it's going to give. Are you having brave conversations with yourself? You have to, sometimes what I have learned really and truly is that you sometimes just have to encourage yourself. You got to tell yourself, you got to boost yourself up. So I'm asking you, what conversations are you having with yourself? What is your prayer life like? And what boundaries are you setting for yourself? I want to remind you that the conversations that we are having, it does not have to stop when the episode is over. I offer private coaching for women who are ready to step into their next life chapter with clarity, courage, confidence, and bliss. So if you're feeling stuck, or you know there's more for you, but you just don't see a path forward, you don't see a path forward yet, let's work together and allow me to help create it for you. Click the link in the description if you're watching via YouTube, or if you're listening on your listening device. Check out the show notes and schedule your session today, because your next chapter isn't waiting, and neither should you. Now, let's get back to the episode. All those things matter. And the times you feel like you're behind, you confused, you all mixed up, it's part of the process of becoming. So like my husband sometimes tell me, he says, baby, you got to fall in love with the process. And I have learned that. I have fallen in love with the process. None of it is good or bad. It's just part of the process. And the prize is becoming. Not I have become, but it is becoming. And I want you to keep that in mind as you are doing the work. And because we are in the month of November, the month of gratitude and thankfulness, I want to invite you to try something with me. And I wrote it down. Okay? So you write it down too. So instead of saying, I'm not where I should be, I want you to try saying, I'm grateful for how far I have become. Say it with me. I'm grateful for how far I have become. Another one I wrote down is, instead of I should be further along, try saying this or writing this. I honor the steps I've already taken. I honor the steps I've already taken. There's so much in that one statement, because this is the thing. Gratitude has so much power. I mean, it has incredible power, because what gratitude will do for you is that it will expand your confidence. And who doesn't need more confidence? Gratitude shifts your energy. Gratitude fuels your momentum. And in this season, I know sometimes there's so much to do. There's so much to distract us. You are going to need to fuel your energy and fuel your momentum. Hear me when I tell you. And when you're grateful for the progress you've made, do I need to say that again? When you are grateful for the progress that you have made, whoa, you naturally attract more progress, because like attracts like, opposites do not. You'll attract the people. You find yourself in the places you receive and give up the things that adds to your progress. And that is the truth. That is the truth. So here's something you can do today, all right? Right now. Right now. As I spoke earlier, write those things that I shared with you, write those statements down. And along with that, I want you to write down 3 gains. 3 gains. This is number 1. Where were you emotionally last year in 2024? And be honest compared to now. Be honest with yourself. Where were you just last year emotionally, okay, compared to where you are now? And number 2, what do you understand today that you didn't understand before? What do you understand today that you did not understand before? And whatever area you choose, okay? And the third is, what strength have you developed that once felt impossible? Oh, that's a good one. What strength have you developed that once felt impossible? And I want those answers to remind you that your journey is real, it's valid, it's moving, it's growing, it's not stagnant. That your pace, when you read what you've written, you're gonna understand your pace is perfect for you. And you're also going to understand that your growth is not imagined, your growth is not diminished, but your growth is real. It's real. Sometimes we have to write things down to see the full picture. I often tell my daughter, look, she knows I'm a visual person. I have to see it. I'll listen, I hear you, but I get my deepest understanding with my eyes. Okay? How do you get your deepest understanding? Whatever that answer is for you, that's how I want you to start to begin approaching your growth, your self-assessment of yourself. And so in closing, because I don't want to keep you long, if you're standing at a crossroads right now, that crossroads could be physical, that crossroad could be mental, that crossroad could be emotional, it could be financial, wherever you are standing in a crossroad right now, and you're unsure and you're hesitant, all those stuff, I want to say this truthfully. Normally I'm putting it out there loud, but I want to say this softly yet truthfully to you. You are not starting from zero. Do you hear me? You are not starting from zero. You are building from experience, and you are evolving from wisdom. You're evolving from wisdom, and you are stepping forward with courage. You are falling in love with the process, and that alone deserves celebration. So I want to celebrate you, and I want you to celebrate yourself. And I thank God for your progress. If no one told you today, yesterday, the day before that, I'm telling you, I thank God for your progress, and I want to honor your journey, and I want to celebrate you as a woman on a journey filled with purpose, filled with all the things. But remember, this is what I want you to remember, that it all begins with gratitude. Gratitude changes everything. Everything on every level. Every level. And so until next time, remember, I do have a community that I invite you to check out that I'm building. I'm building it from scratch, and I would love for you to be a part of it. And until next time, I want you to fall in love with the process and be grateful and full of gratitude as you journey forward. I'll talk with you next time, okay? Happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.